Hi everyone, I hope you are doing great. Have you ever said something in anger and wished you could take those words back? Have you ever lost an opportunity, not because you were not capable, but because your emotions took control for just one moment? Think about it. One moment of anger can destroy a relationship. One moment of fear can stop a dream. One moment of frustration can make you quit something that could have changed your entire life. And the painful part is, most people don't lose in life because they are weak. They lose because they cannot control what they feel. Your emotions are powerful. They can make you fight harder, or they can make you destroy everything you worked for. The difference between successful people and everyone else is simple. Successful people feel emotions, but they don't let emotions control their decisions. In this video, you will learn the psychological secrets to control your emotions even in the most difficult situations. So if you have ever struggled with anger, stress, fear, or overthinking, then watch this video till the end. Because once you learn how to control your emotions, you start controlling your life. Shift 1. The hidden enemy inside you. Emotions are powerful. They are part of being human. Anger, fear, jealousy, frustration, stress. Everyone feels them. But here is the truth most people never realize. Your emotions are not the problem. Your reaction to them is. Think about the biggest mistakes people make in life. Most of them happen in emotional moments. A person says something in anger and destroys a relationship that took years to build. Someone quits a dream because fear whispers, "What if you fail?" Another person walks away from an opportunity simply because stress made them feel overwhelmed. In that moment, it feels normal. Your heart beats faster. Your mind becomes louder. Your emotions feel bigger than logic. And suddenly, you react. But later, when the emotion fades, you see the truth clearly. You realize the decision you made in that moment was not your best self. Psychology explains this very clearly. When emotions become intense, the thinking part of your brain becomes weaker. That means the more emotional you become, the less clearly you think. This is why intelligent people still make stupid decisions when they are angry. This is why strong people quit when fear becomes too loud. And this is why so many people regret words they said in emotional moments. Now, look at the people who succeed in life. Leaders, athletes, entrepreneurs. They feel the same emotions as everyone else. They feel pressure. They feel anger. They feel stress. But they have trained themselves to do something powerful. They pause. They don't allow emotions to immediately control their actions. Instead of reacting instantly, they step back and think. And that small moment of control changes everything. Because success in life is not just about intelligence or talent. It is about emotional discipline. The ability to stay calm when others panic. The ability to think clearly when others react emotionally. The ability to stay focused when emotions try to distract you. Once you master this, people cannot easily provoke you. Problems cannot easily break you. And pressure cannot easily control you. But this raises an important question. If emotions feel so fast and powerful, how do some people stay calm even in the most stressful moments? The answer lies in a small psychological space that most people never notice. a space between what happens and how you respond. And once you learn to control that space, you begin to control your emotions. Shift 2. The moment between trigger and reaction. Have you ever noticed something strange? Two people can face the same situation but react in completely different ways. One person explodes in anger. The other stays calm. One person panics under pressure. The other thinks clearly. What is the difference? Psychology says the difference is something very small but extremely powerful. The space between the trigger and the reaction. A trigger is anything that activates your emotions. Someone insults you. A problem appears. A plan fails. Stress suddenly hits you. That moment is the trigger. Most people react instantly. Anger appears, they shout. Fear appears, they quit. Stress appears, they panic. They believe their emotions control them automatically. But the truth is different. Between the trigger and your reaction, there is always a small, invisible moment. A moment where you have a choice. Most people don't see it because their emotions move too fast. But emotionally strong people have trained themselves to pause inside that moment. Instead of reacting instantly, they do something simple. They slow down. They take a breath. They observe the emotion. They ask themselves a powerful question. Is this reaction going to help me or hurt me? And that 1 second of awareness changes everything. Because emotions are like waves. If you react immediately, the wave controls you. But if you pause, the wave passes. Neuroscience explains this beautifully. When you pause for even a few seconds, the emotional part of your brain begins to calm down. And suddenly, the logical part of your mind becomes active again. Now you can think clearly. Now you can respond wisely. Now you stay in control. This is why calm people always seem powerful. Not because they don't feel emotions, but because they have learned to create space before reacting. And the more you practice this skill, the more control you gain over your life. Because once you control your reactions, you control your decisions. And when you control your decisions, you control your future. But knowing this is not enough. To truly master your emotions, you must train your mind every day. Just like athletes train their bodies, mentally strong people train their minds. Shift 3. Training your mind like a warrior. Controlling emotions is not something that happens overnight. It is not magic. It is not luck. It is training. Just like a soldier trains his body for battle, you must train your mind for emotional pressure. Because life will test you. People will test you. Problems will test you. Situations will push your patience, your anger, and your fear. If your mind is not trained, emotions will take control. But if your mind is disciplined, you stay in command. Psychologists say emotional control is like a muscle. The more you practice it, the stronger it becomes. So how do mentally strong people train this muscle? First, they observe their emotions. When anger appears, they don't immediately react. Instead, they notice it. They say to themselves, "I feel angry right now." This small awareness creates distance between you and the emotion. You are no longer inside the emotion, you are watching it. Second, they train the power of breathing. This may sound simple, but it is extremely powerful. When emotions rise, your breathing becomes fast and shallow. Your body thinks it is in danger. But when you slow your breathing, your brain receives a signal that says everything is under control. And suddenly, your body begins to calm down. This is why elite athletes, soldiers, and leaders use breathing techniques during high-pressure moments. Third, they delay their reactions. Instead of replying instantly in anger, they wait. Instead of making decisions in stress, they pause. Because strong people understand one important rule: the best decisions are never made in emotional storms. They are made in calm moments. And when you practice these small habits every day, something powerful begins to happen. Situations that used to make you angry no longer control you. Problems that used to stress you no longer shake you. People who once triggered your emotions lose their power over you. You become calmer, stronger, more focused. And when people look at you, they notice something different. They see someone who cannot be easily provoked, someone who stays calm when others panic, someone who thinks clearly when emotions rise. And that kind of emotional strength is rare. But here's the most powerful part. Once you learn to control your emotions, you can actually use them as fuel. Instead of letting anger destroy you, you can turn it into motivation. Instead of letting fear stop you, you can turn it into courage. And that is exactly what highly successful people do. Shift 4. Turning emotions into power. Most people think emotional control means suppressing emotions. They believe strong people don't feel anger. They don't feel fear. They don't feel pressure. But that is not true. The strongest people in the world feel emotions very deeply. The difference is, they use their emotions as fuel instead of letting emotions destroy them. Think about anger. Anger can destroy relationships. Anger can make you say words you regret. Anger can push you to make terrible decisions. But anger also contains energy. When controlled, that same energy can push you to work harder, improve yourself, and prove people wrong. Many successful people started with anger. Someone doubted them. Someone rejected them. Someone told them they were not good enough. Instead of reacting emotionally, they transformed that emotion into motivation. The same thing happens with fear. Fear stops most people. Fear says, what if you fail? What if people laugh at you? What if you were not good enough? And because of that fear, millions of people never start. But emotionally intelligent people understand something powerful. Fear is not a stop sign. Fear is a signal that something important is ahead. The things that scare you the most often lead to the biggest growth in your life. Public speaking feels scary until you do it. Starting a business feels terrifying until you try. Chasing a big dream feels risky until you realized it was worth it. Fear is simply energy. When you face it instead of running from it, that energy turns into confidence. Even stress can become powerful. Pressure can break people, but pressure can also sharpen focus. Athletes perform their best under pressure. Leaders make their most important decisions under pressure. Why? Because pressure forces the mind to become fully present. And when you learn to channel your emotions instead of fighting them, you gain something extremely powerful. You gain emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence is one of the greatest advantages a person can have in life. Because when you control your emotions, you don't just control how you feel, you control how you act, You control how you think, and ultimately, you control the direction of your life. But there is one final truth that emotionally strong people understand. A calm and controlled mind gives you a huge advantage over most people. Let's talk about that in the final part. Shift 5. The Calm Mind Advantage. Imagine two people facing the same challenge. One panics, the other stays calm. Who do you think makes the better decision? Who finds the solution faster? Who wins in the end? The answer is clear. Calmness is a superpower that most people completely ignore. When your mind is calm, you see opportunities others miss. You act with clarity while others react impulsively. You make decisions that set you up for long-term success. Psychologists call this emotional resilience, the ability to stay steady when life tries to shake you. Here's the truth. People who control their emotions don't have fewer problems, they just handle them differently. Anger becomes focus, fear becomes courage, stress becomes energy, and over time, this creates something incredible: momentum. Every calm decision builds confidence. Every measured reaction builds trust. Every controlled emotion builds power. The people who master this don't just survive, they thrive. And the best part? You can train yourself to become one of them. Start small. Pause before reacting. Breathe when emotions rise. Observe what you feel without judgment. Channel your emotions into action. Do this consistently and you'll notice a transformation. You stop being controlled by life. You start controlling it. You become unstoppable. Remember, the strongest people aren't the ones who never feel anger, fear, or stress. The strongest people are the ones who master their emotions. So if you want to be unstoppable, if you want to win in life while others lose to their emotions, start controlling your mind today. Your life won't just change, it will level up in ways you never imagined.